In our previous video, we have understood what are HTML forms and why we have to use forms in our website. And also we have understood what is this action attribute, method attribute, target attribute, why we have to use this for, and what is the use of this ID. Okay, everything we have understood. Now here we are just going to learn some of the form elements now. Okay, we have only seen about this input and label. Now we are going to see some more form elements. So I'm just going to create here new form, and action as of now I'm just going to remove because I'm not submitting any data. So I'm just going to remove the action. Now inside this, first we have seen about this label, and here for, let me just write here username, and here I'll be writing here name. Below this I'm just going to create input field, type let it be text, and also I'm just going to give the ID. ID will be same as the for. Okay, whatever I have given inside for, that will be same. I'll just copy the path, and here I'm just going to paste that one. Okay, now you can see here I'm having this form. Okay, this is one element inside form, label. Input field we have seen. Now we are going to see select element. Now here I'm just going to write here label, and inside this I'm just going to write here select option, and here I'll be writing select data. Okay, you can give anything here. Now inside this I'm just going to create here select element, and inside name whatever you want you can just give here. Let me just write here fruits, and ID I'm just going to give here whatever I have given for this label. I'm just going to paste that one here. Now inside this select I'm just going to create some options, and for this options we have to give some value. Like I'm just going to give here banana. Okay, this will be very useful whenever you are sending this data to the database. Okay, whatever value we are having, using that value we will be sending the data. Now here I'm just going to pass the same fruit name. I'll copy, and here I'm going to paste. I'll just copy this 3-4 times, and here I'm just going to change. I'll just write here mango, and then here and here I'll be writing apple, and here let me just write here pineapple. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see here I'm having this select data, and inside this I'm having this drop down list. Whenever I click on this, you can see all the data will be appearing: banana, mango, apple and pineapple. Okay, by default whatever first data I have given, that is nothing but banana, that is been selected here. Okay, by default it is been selected. Now suppose instead of that I just want this apple to be displayed. So here I can just write here selected. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see apple is selected. Now whenever I hover on this, you can see by default apple will be selected. I can choose whatever data I want, and I can insert the data inside the database. Okay, this is how we are going to use select element, and inside this select we will be having this ID attribute and name attribute we have given, and inside this options, okay, inside select we will be having this option element, and inside that we have to give this values. And whatever data you want, you can just store that one here. And by default the first value will be selected. Instead of first one, if you want some other data should be displayed, you can just give here selected. You can either write like this or you can just write like this. Okay, both are correct, but inside XHTML, okay, we will be following this rule. I'll come here, I'll refresh this one. Now you can see again it is going to work. You can either write selected or you can just write like this. Okay, both it will work and you will be having the same output. Okay, if I just want to select multiple data inside this select element, I'm just going to write that one select tag. I'll just write here multiple. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see I can select multiple data here. Okay, now all the multiple data, all the data will be displayed here to me. You can see all the options whatever I'm having here, that is been displayed to me. Now if I just copy and paste this 3-4 times, I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see I'll be getting this drop down list, and whatever data I want I can just select that one from here. Okay, if you just write here multiple, it will work like that. Okay, this is all about select element. Next we are having text area. Let me just write here text area, and inside this you can see we are having many attributes. We are having name. Now let me just write here name. Okay, you can give anything here. ID also, let me just write here name, and column is equal to 30 and rows is equal to 10, which means that okay, the number of visible lines, okay, whatever visible lines I can see, that is nothing but rows. Okay, this is the number of characters present inside one row. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see this is my text area. Now before that let me just give one label, and also I'm just going to give one break. I'll just give 2 breaks here, and here I'm just going to write here label, and inside that I'm just going to write here feedback. Inside label I'm just going to write here for attribute, and whatever name I have given for ID I'm just going to copy. I'll paste that one here. I'll refresh this. Okay, now this is my text area. Now inside this I can just write that one. Now for better understanding, let me just write here 3 and here I'll be writing 5. And now I have written here 5. Now here I can just write that one. Again I can just come down. You can see here it is going to type like that. Okay, totally the data will be displayed in 3 lines. Okay, this is how it is going to work. Now if you just want to increase or decrease the size, you can just do that one. Okay, based on your requirement, you can just give the size whatever you want. Okay, you can just drag and increase the size, and you can just shrink like this as well. Okay, this is all about text area. This will be very useful whenever we are writing some feedback form. We can just use that one. Let me just copy this break, and here I'm just going to paste that one. I'll save this. I'll refresh this. Now here I'm having this name input field, then here I'm having this select field, then here I'm having this text area. Now here I'm just going to write here BR, and again I'm just going to write one more BR. Now below this I'll be writing label, and inside this I'm just going to write here field set data. Now here let me just write here field set. Field set. Now field set and legend, what it is going to do is it will combine the data. Now this field set, what it is going to do is it is going to combine the related data. Now you are having first name and last name. It is going to combine that first name and last name. Okay, now let's see an example of that. Now for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write here field set, and inside this field set we will be having one legend element. Now here I'm going to write here legend, and inside this I can just write here data or personal data something. Okay, this is the heading, and this will be acting as a caption. Okay, now this legend will be giving the caption for my data. Now below this I'm just going to create one label, and inside this label let me just remove as of now. I'll just remove this for, and here I'll be writing first name. First name. Below this I'm just going to create input field, and inside this input field here I'm having all these things, and also I'm just going to give one value here. Value, let me just write here Ria. Okay, this is the first label. Inside this legend, okay, inside this field set I'm having this legend. This will be acting as a caption for my data. Then I have just written the label, that is nothing but first name. Then I'm having this input field. Now below this let me just add one break, okay, so that the data will be displayed in next line. Then again I'm just going to copy this same thing. I'll just copy this, and here I'm going to paste, and instead of first name let me just write here last name, and instead of Ria let me just write here Sharma. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see how the data will be displayed. Okay, this is nothing but my label field set, and this is the data, and this is going to combine this one. Okay, let me just add one break as well. Here also I'm just going to add one break. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see first name is Ria and last name is Sharma, and this entire thing is wrapped inside one container. Okay, if you just want to combine all the data, or if you just want to relate whichever data we are having, inside first name you are having these two things, inside email or inside address like street, pin code, everything, if you want to combine inside one column, you can just do that one. Okay, using this field set, and you can see this data whatever I have written here inside this legend, that will be acting as a caption for my container. Okay, this is all about field set and legend element inside form. Next we are having this data list. Now data list element, what it is going to give is it is going to give me the predefined list. Okay, now here I am having this select options, and inside this whatever options I want I can select that one. Now here if you are just filling some form, and whenever you click on that input fields you will be having states. Okay, you can't see the options, but whenever you click on that only then you will be seeing the options. We can also create like that kind of drop down. Now what I am going to do is first I am just going to create input field, and inside this input whenever we are using data list, here I just have to write here list attribute. Inside this let me just write here states. Now whatever attribute, okay, whatever name I have given here inside list, now if I just create a data list, and inside this I have to pass this ID, and whatever I have given here that should be matching with this one. Okay, only then it is going to work. Now here I am just going to write here options, and inside this let me just write here Karnataka, and here I'll just write the value. I'll just copy this, and here I'm going to paste, and I'll be writing some more data here. Maharashtra. I'll copy this, and here I'm going to paste. Here I'll be writing Mysore. I'll copy, and here I'm going to paste. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Okay, now you can see here I'm having this input field. Okay, this is how it is going to display. Now for this input field, before that let me just add one break here. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Okay, now you can see this is the input field. Now whenever I click on this, I will be getting this kind of options. But for select, let me just remove this multiple and show you the output. For this select, I have given this multiple option. I'll just remove this. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see the apple, the first data will be displayed for me, and it is giving me this drop down icon here. Whenever I click on this, I will be getting all these options. But when we are using this data list, okay, it is not going to display me any drop down. Whenever I click on this, only then it is going to display this one, and whatever data I want, I can just select that one, and that data will be displayed to me here. Okay, this is nothing but Maharashtra. If I just want to change, I can just remove this one from here. Again, if I just select, I can just give any value whatever I want. Okay, these are very useful whenever we are using states or whenever we are giving places names inside our form. Then we can use this data list. Okay, if you don't want to use this select data, we can just use this data list and we can display the data. Inside this data list, before that, you have to write this input. Okay, and this list attribute must be referring to this one. Okay, whatever ID we are having inside data list, that should be referring to this one. Now, if I just remove this one, I'll refresh this. Now you can see I will not be having any output here. Okay, so this is very useful. You have to give input and list is equal to states, and this whatever we are giving here, that should be referring to this one. Only then it is going to work. Now if I just write here another name, let me just write here state. Okay, instead of state, I just wrote here state. I'll refresh this. Now whenever I click on this, you can see it will not give me any output. Okay, whatever name we are writing here, that should be referring to this one. Only then we will be having the output. I'll refresh. Okay, now you can see here I am having this output. Okay, this is how we are going to use data list element. Okay, next we are having opt group tag. Now it is used to group related information. Okay, now how we have seen in field set, it is going to combine the related data, whatever we are having, it is going to combine in one container. Now inside this opt group, it will be giving me drop down list for separate sections. Okay, now let's see the example of that so that we will be having clear idea on that. Now here, first I am just going to give some break tags. And below this, I'm just going to give here break, and inside this, first let me just write here label. For let me just write here vegetables, and here I'm just going to write here vegetables. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Okay, now here I'm having this vegetables. Now below this label, I'm just going to create here select. Let me just write here proper spelling. Select, and inside this name, let me just write here veg, and also ID I'm just going to write here veg. And inside this select options, I'm just, instead of option, first I'm just going to write here opt group. You can see here I'm having all this option. Inside this opt group, I'm just going to write the options here. Options, first value, let me just write here brinjal. Then next I'm just going to write here potato. I'll just remove these two options from here. Okay, this is my first opt group. I'll just copy this brinjal, and here I'm going to paste. I'll copy this, and here I'm going to paste. I'll save this, and I'll just show you the output here. Now you can see here I'm having this brinjal and potato inside this vegetable. Now next I'm just going to copy this, and below this I'm just going to paste that one. Now instead of this, let me just write here lady's finger. And here let me just write here carrot. I'll copy this, I'll paste here, I'll copy this, and here I'm going to paste. I'll save this, I'll refresh this one. Now whenever I click, you can see this is the first option. Okay, here you can see I'm having some space. Then this is the second option. Okay, this is how opt group is going to help. It is just going to group this particular data, and we will be having some space. Okay, whenever you are writing this opt group, you can just write here. Okay, for vegetables you can write here, then for fruits you can write here, then for vehicles you can write here. Okay, like that you can just select multiple options and you can give that one. Now here instead of this, let me just write here mango, and here I'll be writing apple. I'll copy apple, I'll paste here, I'll copy mango, I'll paste here. I'll save this, I'll refresh this one. Now you can see this is the vegetable section and this is the fruit section. Okay, now for this opt group, you can just give the label here. Now here I'm just going to give one label. I'm just going to give here vegetables. And for this opt group, second opt group, I'm just going to give here label. I'm just going to write here fruits. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now whenever I click on this, you can see inside vegetables I'm having these two options. Inside fruits I'm having these two options. Okay, like that you can just group multiple data and you can display that one. Okay, this is all about opt group, and these are some of the basic form elements which will be very useful whenever you are creating forms. Okay, now next we are going to learn about type attributes. Before that, let's just revise whatever we have done till now. We have seen about label. Okay, this is going to give the label. We have seen about this input element. Using this input element, we can input the data. Then we are having this select. Using this select element, we can create the drop down list. We are having this text area, and this is very useful when we are giving feedback. Then we are having this field set, and when we are using this field set, we can combine the related data. We are having this data list, and inside this, okay, for this input field, we can just create the drop down list. Then finally, we are having this opt group. It is going to combine the related data. Okay, this is all about basic HTML form elements. Next, we are going to learn about type attribute in form. Okay, that's all for today's tutorial. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.